man, did the real world kind of just come up and, we talk about sports bubbles. The real world kind of pierced Mike Gundy's bubble, whatever world he's living. He's living in his own world there. And, man, the real world just came up and gave Mike Gundy a breath of what everybody else is smelling. Now, look, everybody out there can watch OAN. I've never seen a second of it.
Me neither.
With the exception of videos that have been tweeted into my timeline.
Indeed.
So I've seen it. And, it's interesting that this photograph, they had a great day of fishing.
A lot of great fish.
A lot of great fishing.
Looks awesome.
Now, if you want to wear a T-shirt with 3 letters on it and one starts with an O and then the others are SU, that makes sense. And if Mike Gundy had only worn that, although, hey, look, apparently can take everything in here, that apparently everything's better for this happening for Mike Gundy and Oklahoma State. Because, man, Mike Gundy, who just started watching OAN, according to him, back in April when he dropped it in at the top of a Zoom press conference. Oh man, just started flipping around and turned on a channel, OAN, and hold on a second, Don. You turn on OAN and you just found it like, hey, they just tell the news the way it is. There's no slant at all. Now, every news outlet truly you can say has a bias to it, and that's the way things are going on in this world, is that your choice of news outlets can inform people how you view the world politically. There's no doubt about that. To turn that channel on and think it has no slant, no bias at all, could place that one aside. But any other, one would say, sentient human being who does take this stuff in would admit OAN makes Fox News on occasion look like MSNBC, to just use some letters in the news gathering world. Let's just call it as we see it here. To not kind of understand that this is a slant and a take on things, but you like it enough, put on a T-shirt, which you can do. Hey, Mike Gundy has every right to put that T-shirt on. There's no doubt about it. But he doesn't have a right to not understand at all, when you're the head coach of growing men and men of color, that might not be, what's the word for it, cool? The fact that this guy comes out and says, I didn't even know what their stance was on the subject matter of race. How much were you watching? Did you just watch it once and got the T-shirt? Is that it? So, he wears a T-shirt, and one of his players happens to be running back.
A very good one.
Pretty good one.
Yeah.
Chubba Hubbard, there he is. I will not stand for this. This is completely insensitive to everything going on in society, and it's unacceptable. I will not be doing anything with Oklahoma State until things change. Now, Hubbard has every right to react this way, and you have every right to say, hey, this is a cancel culture that's going on right now. Well, he feels that people in the world, and based on what he might see from OAN, those people who watch that might kind of want to, what do you want to say, cancel him, like from the planet. You can get that sense. Are you a coach? Mike, I heard you were 40. I heard you were 40 once upon a time. So that makes him, what, 45 now? If I'm just trying to do it.
No, he's 50.
He's 50. That's 10 years old now?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. The I'm a man speech is.
Oh, my goodness gracious me, oh, my.
Yeah.
Can't believe I'm spending time on stuff like this. But when a player in college football realizes, oh, wait a minute, I've got some sort of power, hand, to use the phrase. Because Mike Gundy started listening. There's a quick listening tour. Brush back the mullet to get those ears hearing. Listening tour begins. Okay, what do you got to say? Young Squire, on the subject of race. Something going on with race, you say? Now, people were a little disappointed because a video was put out and Hubbard was standing with Gundy. And this is what happened.
In light of today's tweet with the T-shirt I was wearing, I had met with some players and realized it's a very sensitive issue with what's going on in today's society. And so we had a great meeting and made aware of some things that players feel like that can make our organization, our culture even better than it is here at Oklahoma State. And I'm looking forward to making some changes, and it starts at the top with me, and we got good days ahead.
I'll start off by first saying that I went about it the wrong way by tweeting. I'm not someone that, has to, tweet something to make change. I should have went to him as a man, and I'm more about action. So that was bad on my part. But from now on, we're gonna focus on bringing change, and that's the most important thing.
Now, I don't know what Hubbard has to apologize for, because I don't think if he went to Gundy and said, hey, man, what was that T-shirt all about? I think, we're all upset and we're going to have a conversation. Can you set up a Zoom? I don't know if we would have had that video where Gundy would say, I've realized my... And the issue is, again, is Gundy saying his piece and then turning to Hubbard and giving him a gesture like, okay, now you say what we talked about you were going to say. But if change is coming, that would be great, because that's what this is about eventually, is to have a conversation. It's just patently disappointing that somebody who is in a position of power, like a Power 5 big conference coach like Mike Gundy, does not realize. And again, he has every right to wear the T-shirt, but he's a coach of a major college football program that is in the middle of a country that is absolutely having conversations left, right, up, and down, and also is aflamed. And there are many players in his locker room who are black and are wondering about whether they are going to be dead behind the wheel of a car if circumstances come about. And T-shirts matter when you're a coach. Just ask Freddie Kitchens, who wore a T-shirt out to watch the Mr. Rogers movie that kind of poked fun of the Myles Garrett crowning situation. Remember that?
I forgot about that, yeah.
And it made him look like you don't know what you're doing. And he lost his gig eventually. And I bet that had part to do with it. Just like, come on. When you're a head coach of a major football program on planet Earth in America in the 21st century, what you do and what you wear and what you post, every single thing matters, because it gives an indication to the world about how to grips you are with everything in the world. And clearly that didn't work, certainly enough on campus, and maybe with his athletic director and maybe with the college school president, because Gundy came out yesterday. I mean, that kind of looked like what people were tweeting about, a hostage video. This one kind of looked a little bit Hale-Bopp Comet guy type look. Remember that? Remember that guy from back in the day? Take a look. This is what Gundy had to say, I believe, yesterday, right? He came out. This was something that came out yesterday. Here we go.
I had a great meeting with our team today. Our players expressed their feelings as individuals and as team members. They helped me see through their eyes how the T-shirt affected their hearts. Once I learned how that network felt about Black Lives Matter, I was disgusted and knew it was completely unacceptable to me. I want to apologize to all members of our team, former players, and their families for the pain and discomfort that has been caused over the last 2 days. Black Lives Matter to me. Our players matter to me. These meetings with our team have been eye-opening and will result in positive changes for Oklahoma State football. I sincerely hope the Oklahoma State family, near and far, will accept my humble apology as we move forward.
Okay. I'm glad he said the words Black Lives Matter, because that's truly what this is about. And many question about whether he believes it or not, and I hope he does, man. Just certainly for the kids in that program and wanting to get along with their coach, who they signed a letter of intent to play for. Clearly, they have bought what we sold in living rooms and in locker rooms and in film rooms. I hope for their sake. But again, I've never seen OAN, and many out there might have seen it. But from what people who do follow that stuff and tell me about it, and what I have had tweeted in my timeline, if he did not know that OAN felt this way about the Black Lives Matter movement, it appears he missed prime time and drive time and morning time and lunchtime, overnights. But what this does prove is the players. You've got some power. You've got some power here. You don't like what's going on, you could speak up. You could keep your standing on campus. You could keep your scholarship. You could keep your reputation. You speak up. You don't like something, you speak up. That's the moral of that story.